Hello, my name is Anais, and I'm going to be hosting today's meeting. Welcome to the Council on Food Security special meeting, special session on February 11th, 2025. Just a few pieces of housekeeping. If everyone can keep their mic muted unless you are speaking, and when you do speak, if you could please state your name for the record or transcription purposes. Members of the public wishing to provide public comment during the meeting or during public comment period set forth in the following agenda must raise their hand to signal that public comment would like to be made. If using Microsoft Teams, an individual may raise their hand by clicking raise your hand in Teams. If utilizing the telephonic system or call-ins, you may raise your hand by pressing *5. Okay. And then I will begin taking roll. Okay. Alrighty, so I have Dr. Pamela Janil.
Yes, Dr. Janelle, present.
No. And then I have Tori or Samantha Lawson Bofelli.
Hi, this is Amber, for the record, Amber Heiss. Samantha emailed that she tried to phone in and wasn't unable to connect, but she is trying to get to a laptop where she can connect. So she'll try to join later. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Vicky Ives.
Hi, present.
Okay. And Jeff Duncan.
Here.
And Kelly Contrell.
Kelly's not here. She's at the airport.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And Lisa Swearingen.
Here.
Okay. And Dr. Dorian Stonebarger. Okay. And Chair Allison Jenko.
Here.
And then Dr. Julian Goycochea or any proxy.
I'm here.
Okay. And Dr. Sabina Malik.
Here.
And Gabby Everett. Okay. And Jill Moe.
Present.
Okay. And then I have Marcia Blake.
Here.
And Maria Menjivar.
Present.
And Sarah Ramirez.
Present.
Okay. So looks like we have 12, so therefore we meet quorum. 12 members, so we may go ahead and proceed.
Okay, thank you, Anais. At this time, we will go ahead and move to agenda item number 2, which is public comment. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under public comment unless the matter itself has been specifically included on an agenda as an action item. Due to time considerations, each individual offering public comment will be limited to not more than 5 minutes. To provide public comment telephonically, dial 1-775-321-6111, and when prompted to provide the meeting ID, enter 821-705-445#. And members of the public utilizing the call-in may raise their hand by pressing *5. And persons making comment will be asked to begin by stating their name for the record and to spell their last name. Do we have anyone wishing to give public comment? If so, please use the raise hand feature or dial *5. Okay, not seeing anyone. We'll go ahead and close out agenda item number 2 and move on to agenda item number 3 for possible discussion and possible action for the 2025 state legislative session. Okay, so we have started session. There are a lot of bills out there. There are probably, I don't know, last time I checked, about 500. So at this point, I have not identified a really like a large list of bills that we could track. I did identify SB 104, which makes an appropriation to the other state education programs account for the creation and maintenance of school gardens. I think that would be appropriate for us to track and support. And I have so many bills open on my tabs right now that I can't even keep track. But wanted to open up the discussion for the council if there are other bills that folks have identified that we should be monitoring or taking any other action on. Dr. Janelle, go ahead.
Yes, this is Dr. Janelle for the record. Y'all, please forgive me, but I am searching my email and I cannot find the agenda anywhere. I will admit our barracuda may have eaten it. Is there any way I can get access to the agenda, please? Thank you.
Throw it in the chat.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And it's a really quick agenda, Dr. Janelle. We only have this one item for today, and then public comment the rest of the meeting. So just our first of many special sessions. So did you get that okay? Okay, perfect. Dr. Malik, I see you turned your camera on. Did you have something you wanted to chat about?
Hi, Dr. Malik for the record. We've been tracking, I think we identified like 17 bills that are food related. I can read them off.
That would be great.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you just said AB 53 for the Committee on Education for the school gardens.
Oh, that's that's a
this,
different one.
Yeah, this one requires elementary school students to get 20 minutes of recess each day. So that one's more physical activity. And then there's AB 108 for appropriation to outdoor education and recreation grant program, carrying out the outdoor education and recreation grant program. SB 21 for the Committee on Natural Resources revises the membership on outdoor recreation. SB 104 makes an appropriation to other state education programs for the maintenance of school gardens. BDR 75, all I've found is that it revises provisions to food access, and it's Senator Cannizzaro. I have no other info on that.
Sorry, Jeff Duncan, sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Could you say that again, that BDR?
75.
Thank you.
BDR 674 by Assembly Member Jackson revises provisions related to school and community wellness. No other details. BDR 340, Assembly Member Hargui, for universal free breakfast and lunch for Nevada schools. BDR 686 by Assembly Member Considine revises provisions related to food served in Nevada prisons. BDR 911 by Assembly Member Flanagan revises provisions related to food insecurity. That's all the info on that one. And then there was a couple more that are ag specific. SB 55 by the Lieutenant Governor on agricultural tourism, something related to liability insurance. AB 80 is on the Assembly Committee on Natural Resources on a healthy soil initiative. AB 85 by Assembly Member Watts related to bees and butterflies and keeping track of invertebrate populations. BDR 704 on Home Feeds Nevada. And trying to get some funding, revises provisions related to agriculture is kind of all it says. BDR 890 by Assemblywoman Anderson is on the cottage food and craft foods. They're trying to expand the meaning of that one so that you can sell in more places. BDR 154 revises provisions relating to meat and poultry. And then there's a BDR 52-627 on street foods. And then I might have mentioned these two already, BDR 833 on agriculture and BDR 75 on food access. Sorry, I'm reading like two different pages. BDR 228 on agrivoltaics. That is for solar power in gardens and like hydroponics units. Those are the ones we've been tracking through the Food Council, through Partners for a Healthy Nevada, and through the small ag roundtables.
Okay, got a couple more hands. Dr. Malik, can you just tell me that first one, was it AB 53? Yeah, okay, perfect, thank
53.
you. Jill, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. This is Jill for the record. I don't think you got this one, Sabina. BDR 426. It's also on agrivoltaics, creating a definition for them and establishing demonstration projects in the state.
What was the number on that one?
426. I think that's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. Vicky, I see your hand is up. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Vicki Ives, for the record. Just wanted to also bring up Senate Bill 78 on the boards and the formation of a new office to oversee boards and commissions that this particular group is mentioned, and there are some proposed changes to membership. Would just bring that to the attention of the group. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vicki. I'm glad you brought that up. I did have a conversation with governor's office staff about this bill. And it sounds like some changes will be made and potentially advisory councils will be carved out. So keep an eye out on that one. We may not have to engage on that one. So that's good news.
Chair, if I
Marcia.
may.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry, just on your point, Jeff Duncan for the record. We're not sure either, but there might be momentum to keep it as is. So just keep your eye on that. That we too thought that was only going to be licensing boards, but now we're hearing maybe not. So just for the record, keep watching it.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Marcia, go ahead.
Continuing with the SB 78, one of the proposed things is to get rid of the Council on Aging and combine it with Alzheimer's, and they've greatly limited the number of seats, and there's actually no representative from social services. And it really is focusing on Alzheimer's and not really about older adult issues. So we're watching that one. And then the other one is AB 75, and that is to change how grant funding from the state comes down to nonprofits, proposing that we're able to get a first quarter upfront and then reimbursement throughout the rest of the year.
Marcia, is that the Clark Regional Behavioral Health Policy Board bill?
Let me look really quick. The primary sponsor is the Assembly Committee on Government Affairs.
Hold on.
And
Yeah, it's the Clark one.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Marcia. Director Goycochea, please don't crash your car.
I'm parked, Allison. So on 78, there is actually, we had a meeting this morning with Director Sanchez and Deputy Director Haig on there, and there's only 58 boards that will be impacted. Now there is an amendment coming to strip the rest out. I will pass that along to you, Allison, right now, so you can share that with the group on what those 58 actually are.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. Any other bills, BDRs to flag before we sort of dive into a deeper discussion?
Chair, it's Jeff Duncan for the record. I put 2 in the chat, AB 116 and Senate Bill 184. It's the only 2 that I've been tracking that came across my laundry list of alerts that have to do anything with food that piqued my interest, but they are in chat.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, well, this was much more than what I had, so thank you all. I think, sorry, I'm just trying to sort myself here. Does anyone have any like major concerns about any of these bills that they want to touch on at this point? Other than the boards and commissions one.
Dr. Malik, for the record, this isn't a major concern, but I think there was a couple on the community gardens, and I can't remember which one it was. Support school gardens, absolutely. But I remember the language for this bill last time was like hyper specific, that it funds only one organization, and then it kind of like all the stipulations apply to only one organization, and there's quite a few in Nevada that support school gardens. So if there's a way to, in our work, in our talking to different legislators, if we can get it to apply to multiple school garden supporting organizations.
Dr. Goycochea, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's timely to bring this up. We met with Senator Pazina this morning on that exact bill, and it is going to be opened up to all nonprofits. And there is also a proposed amendment that if a school is actually doing that on their own in an area that a nonprofit would not have to weigh in and participate, that would also be an option. That money is going to education, Department of Education, and so it will be open to more than just one group.
Great. Thank you for your service, Director. Anybody else have other concerns on some of these bills? Okay, I think in terms of some of these BDRs that are still kind of looming, we can wait and see once they get dropped. I am curious about the meat and poultry one. Director Goycochea, because you're hopefully still here. Have you heard anything on this bill? Anything you want to flag for the group?
Yeah, so what that would do is that bill would allow for those mobile processing facilities, i.e. the trailer of Cooperative Extension, to also fall underneath our inspections at Department of Ag. When that was originally written, those are excluded in statute, so we could not include those in our regulatory process. So that would just fold those in the same as a brick and mortar.
Okay. And is that helpful? I mean, is that helpful to you? I'm just unfamiliar.
It will be helpful in the future. I mean, right now there's only one that is running in the state, and that is Cooperative Extensions. But as this continues to expand, and as we see more of people wanting to know where their food does come from, then I think we will definitely see an expansion of those mobile facilities.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so I think we'll we'll monitor hearings and continue having a dialogue. I definitely think it would be beneficial to support the school garden bills. And then as other things come up, we can discuss. I know we also have I want to shift a little bit to the other like food security days or legislative days that are coming up. I believe we had one get canceled, and I cannot remember off the top of my head what that was, but wanted to flag that for the council. Dr. Malik, I see you're unmuted.
Hunger Action Day was
Thank you.
canceled.
Thank you. But we still have other opportunities to engage. And are any folks, partners on here, planning to table or have those things planned right now? Jill.
Yes, this is Jill Moe for the record. I'll be attending the Ag Day at Legislature with the Desert Farming Initiative, and we'll have a table as part of that event.
Okay, great. And can you remind me what date that is? I don't think I had that one calendared.
This is Jill Moe for the record again, March 18th.
18th. Okay, great. Marsha.
So I will be attending the nonprofit day at the legislature, which is March 19th. And waiting to still hear a verification date for Alzheimer's Day and Older Americans Day. Tentatively, they're in April, but they haven't been finalized yet.
Okay, great. Thank you, Marsha. Director Goicoechea, are there any other, I know you have to drop off soon, so I just want to pick your brain as long as we have you. Is there anything that the council can be helpful to Department of Ag on? Anything that you need for Ag Day? Anything along those lines?
Allison, I don't think at this time we're trying to get this 171, this emergency egg bill out of the Senate this afternoon, and hopefully that'll come off the floor in the morning. That's our priority right now. See if we can get that protein back on the shelves in an affordable manner. The rest of it, we're really waiting on language on some of these other bills. We haven't been approached on them, and we haven't been asked to weigh in yet. So once we see that language, I'll loop that through you as the chair and ask for weigh in. Ag Day is coming together, and we're going to hope the weather cooperates. We have the foyer on the second floor and 3100 and the outdoor common grounds. So if the weather cooperates, we've got a substantial amount of room. So we're looking for a big turnout on that day. Other than that, we're just waiting to see what the next 106 days do.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you, Director. Really appreciate you being here.
Jeff, that's not that funny. It's been a wild 2 weeks, guys. It is a Tuesday of the second week, and I am upside down.
Yeah.
Just Jeff Doug for the record. Sorry. I just want to echo those comments and appreciate the director and everything that's happened in the first couple of weeks. Nice work.
Dr. Janelle, for the record, in the words of the famous Jeffrey Duncan, ditto. No, seriously, thank you for all the work you're doing right now. I mean, I have afro shrinkage right now, if you can see, but we know that you're handling things for us, and I appreciate this council as well. Thank you all.
I agree. Yeah, to Director Goicoechea's point, it's a bit crazy right now already, which I guess is probably a good thing. It's probably good that we have as many bills as we do right now, and we can maybe not be so log jammed towards the end of session. but I'm not optimistic on that front. So that being said, does anybody have anything they they would like to see from the council until our next special session, or are we comfortable with sort of a wait and see approach? And then if other bills come up, we can go from there. Marcia, please go ahead.
So just looking at the list that Sabina sent, there's, she said there's a BDR 75 about food access with not much information. And then there's the BDR 704 Home Feeds Nevada. Is there anything that we can do on our end to either get more information or offer support to them? Like you said, it may not even get past the BDR point, but it's helpful if there's information that they could use from us that would help them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you all are individually planning to have meetings with legislators and get a sense of what those bills are, please ask them. I think we can all rely on each other to just do as much information gathering as we can. So I'm happy to do that as well. I am in Northern Nevada and I plan to be in Carson City pretty regularly. So we can certainly coordinate that. Dr. Malik.
Dr. Malik, for the record, this is actually my first time really getting involved with the session. So could you kind of explain a little bit how this should work? Because I know we're working a little bit with NDA's team, and through the Southwest Regional Food Business Center, there's going to be a pop-up on Ag Day and a cattleman breakfast and a mobile harvest pop-up. And they're really looking for producer engagement, trying to get these farmers and producers out to the session to speak. But do we just show up at a hearing? Do we make schedules? How does it work? Because our government affairs office was just kind of let us know who you talk to, and they're not really making appointments or anything. So how does this work?
You mean from the meeting perspective or just the whole thing? The whole thing. Okay. So things move very fast in a legislative session, Dr. Malik. So really my approach is sort of I try to speak to legislators on bills that they may have drafted or language that they may already have available, get a sense of what they're trying to accomplish, how we could be helpful if we have heartburn, those types of things. So try to have early meetings right now. And then hopefully we can get a sense of, based on what committees those bills are referred to, when they're going to be heard. And that way we can plan testimony, or if we want to monitor those things, what's our engagement at that point. And that's just kind of how it'll work throughout the session. We do have additional deadlines that will pop up. We've got, committee passage deadline for each house. Then we'll have first house passage, and then it switches. So that's sort of the lay of the land. And then of course we'll if we need to engage with the governor, we can do that as well. But we're early. I don't think it hurts if there's concerns that we need to raise with the governor. We can certainly do that. But that's typically, how I handle a legislative session. I don't know if anybody else has other thoughts they want to include on that. Jill, did you have something you want to add?
This is on a separate note, but so Jill Mo, for the record, I appreciate that overview because this is my first time sort of following the session. So first a question, will you be providing this council updates as, between meetings, or should we just be waiting for discussion during meetings?
I think it would be helpful for a lot of us, and I can provide those updates. I would just have to, those would have to be public updates though, just so we're not going against open meeting law. Sarah, can you clarify?
Sarah Rogers, for our group, that's correct. Yeah, it'd have to be out to the entire listserv, and we have to make sure it's publicly available.
Okay, perfect. Yes, so I can add that as something like a regular, like we can try a weekly might be a lot, maybe a bi-weekly update, and then as things progress, I can try to get out some regular updates to the rest of the council if that works for everyone.
This is Jill Moe again, for the record. Thank you. I would really appreciate that. It'd be really helpful. And then my comment, and I guess another question, is related to the Home Feeds Nevada bill, but also a question that I raised in our last meeting, which was about our emergency food plan. And I think someone committed to looking into that for us. I raise it again, and I'm hoping we can revisit that question because of the amount of change we may be facing, right, given the last few weeks, in particular related to food prices, impacts to our farm workforce, potential impacts to SNAP benefits and programming, among other things.
Yes, we did we did task staff with looking into that, but excuse me, Vicki, I see your hand is up. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Chair. Vicki Ives for the record. We did reach out to DEM and connected with two staff members there. They will be speaking at a future meeting. Their first thoughts were that it might be more relevant to some of the annexes, to wider response plans, but they were interested in bringing information and having a discussion to this group, both around that and just also more broadly around food security needs for the access and functional needs population, as well as the emergency plan discussion. So Sarah Rogers and I met with them, and we will see it on a future agenda. They were interested for sure. So thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. Oh, sorry. Okay, so Jill, is that helpful? Do you need any other questions on that front?
Jill Moe again, for the record. I think that would be really great, and I think if we could prioritize that for a meeting in the near term, it would be a benefit to our state. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jill. And I agree. I think elephant in the room right now is the ever-changing landscape of what's happening in Washington. I am watching that very closely. And if there are things that pop up, please feel free to send them to me. I think sometimes we sort of get in a vacuum, especially during the legislative session. So I definitely would appreciate input and want to know what's going on, especially how it affects all of your work and the community in the long run. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on that. Okay, so any other questions, concerns about the legislative session that anyone wants to address?
Dr. Malik, for the record. So if we're willing to meet with these different legislators, like on these specifically food access bills, then can I reach out to you, Chair Jenko, and then ask to be connected to these people and set up times to meet with them? I know I'll be up there during Ag Day and kind of that week for the Bee and Garden Conference. So I'm available to come and speak to people with the resources that we have. We have a healthy food access map. We have the, food access landscape assessment. We have all of the reports that this council has put together. So we have all these different resources and information. I'm happy to come and speak with people.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to reach out to me, I think it makes sense to have some meetings around that time. I think we'll have a little bit more of a sense of what's out there as well. So I think Ag Day would be a great time to meet with legislators. So I'm happy to get things scheduled with specific legislators. And if you're interested in joining, yeah, I think that would be great, Dr. Malik.
Okay, excellent. And if there's anything like I know we have a fact sheet on like local food purchasing programs to kind of support Home Feeds Nevada from UNR Extension, but like, should I bring printouts? Should I bring, yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring your literature, any information that can help paint the picture, I think is really helpful.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. Anyone else? Okay. Well, I think my marching orders are schedule. We'll get out updates to the council. And I will continue tracking all of those bills. And thank you, Dr. Malik, for your very long list. It's actually very helpful because I'm tracking a lot for Dignity Health right now, but this is really good. So I appreciate everyone's input. And then I will also work on scheduling meetings with legislators. And if folks are planning to be up here and you want to schedule other meetings, just let me know. But I think March would be a really good time since bills will be a little more available and we'll be in this a little bit more. So with that, I think we can go ahead and close out this agenda item and move on to our second set time for public comment, agenda item number 4. Once again, no action may be taken upon a matter raised under public comment unless the matter itself has been specifically included on an agenda as an action item. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes, and to provide public comment telephonically, dial 1-775-321-6111. And when prompted to provide the meeting ID, enter 821-705-455#. And to raise your hand, press *5. Anyone wishing to give public comment, please go ahead and use the raise hand feature or press *5. Sarah, please go ahead.
Sarah Rogers for the record. I just wanted to update everyone that you may have seen some new meeting invites and stuff come your way through the email. Just please, sorry if there's any confusion. We're just streamlining the way that we do meetings to help make things a little bit easier for our support team, and then also create any less confusion and room for error on our end. So if you see new meeting updates and things come your way, that's why we're just working on updating things. And if anyone would like to be added to the listserv who may not already be on the listserv getting meeting updates and things like that, please reach out to our team and we can go ahead and get you added to that listserv. And I'll go ahead and just put my email in the chat for anyone who may want to be added that's not. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that information. Anyone else wishing to give public comment? Okay, not seeing anyone else. we can go ahead and close out agenda item number 4 and move to agenda item number 5, which is adjournment. I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Jeff Duncan, so moved.
Marcia
Dr.
Blake, second.
Janelle, second. I'll let Marcia take it. Thank you, Marcia.
Yeah, I beat you this time.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Right, we are adjourned. Thank you all, and we'll talk next month.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.